Hello everyone, welcome to the seminar. Today is about children's health. Before we start, we want to let everybody know all the seminar information here is try to provide you some information. At least you know there's another choice, not only drugs, medication, or suffer from the pain or any health issue, but there's something you can do. Please, if you want to try something, go to professional. You know there's a way to try it, but do not try on your own. So if you have a question, either come talk to me or talk to somebody who can help you. Today's seminar topic is children's health, basically anything about child from a baby infant all the way up to 16 years old. Most issues will be covered in these seminars. And I'm Dr. Yaran Wu, I'm an acupuncturist. My Chinese name is Wu Yaru. That's my son. Chinese tradition, you need to start do acupuncture or learn acupuncture when we're very young. So basically, in my house, there's needles all over. It should not be there, but that's our family tradition. He's 7 years old now. I hope he can grow up, be a healthy and strong, maybe a great acupuncturist. Anyway, when I have my son, I found out one thing. It's very hard to control a kid. Doesn't matter their personality, their study, their sleep, or you make them eat, or make them to be a great man you wanted. But there's always a way to help them. That's a verse from Bible. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. That's how we grew up, right? And health is the same thing. When you have a child, how you want to feed the baby, build up lifestyle, what time to sleep, if they do exercise, so on and so forth, will decide their life, their future. Very interesting. When I see, or what I should say, when I saw our parents, like for example, a dad liked to play video game. The son is a video game fan. I do have dad hardly exercise. The dad and the son have fun time is they play video game, try to win each other. When I talk to the dad about exercise, I find out the son has the same issue, neck problem. So a lot of things come from the parents. Before we start talking about child, we need to talk about a little bit how acupuncture works. In other words, if you want to know acupuncture, now you can know how acupuncture can help the health for child. I try to make it very simple. Any kind of Chinese medicine include two parts when we talk about it. One big part is herbs. If you look at here, anything you put in your mouth is considered as internal stimulation. It's chemical. Something goes to your body and make a change. In Chinese, it's called 中药. Another one actually is external stimulation. Doesn't matter you do acupuncture. For kids, we do is called pediatrician massage. For adults, called 推拿, acupressure. Another one called 艾灸, Mark's vision, is a healing therapy. Summertime, we do a lot for kids, or we do that one for whoever has a heart issue or cold issue, for example, asthma. Anything in the winter, act up. Summer, we do this heating therapy to store the energy, to back up the body. There's another one called 梅花针, is a tapping needle we do for kids. The needle does not go into the body, it's tapped on the skin. That helps too. So for Chinese culture, it's called cupping. Use a cup, put a fire in and cup on the skin. Very good for catch a cold. Or scraping. Use a coin or spoon, scrape on the skin. The skin become like bruise color. Doesn't matter what you do, you try to give a stimulation. The thing is, when you stimulate the body, you want the body react the way you want. It's the same thing when you send our kids to school. It's a stimulation, right? Their body will learn. But we just use needle, heat, or acupressure, massage to stimulate the body. We want the body to learn the way it's supposed to be. So for Chinese medicine, the basic thing is just make the body learn the way it's supposed to be, and the body can build up the habits so the body can be strong. People ask, acupuncture, doesn't matter what you say it, how it works. You put a needle in, something better? Is medication there? No. What happened? By research, it's not what I say. It's by scientists or MD. When they do their research, there are several things have been proved. Number one is strengthen the immune system. So if your kids always easy to catch a cold, acupuncture can help because stimulate the immune system. Or if your kids, doesn't matter adult or kids, if you have asthma, allergy, that's immune system related, right? From the Western medicine view, acupuncture can help. How it helped, what exactly happened, I don't know. But it has been proved immune system will be increased through acupuncture. Second one, release endorphins. Endorphin is the hormone in your brain. They call happy hormone. So in the United States, most people go to acupuncture, number one for pain. It's around 80% people go to see an acupuncturist for pain relief. Around 20% is for depression or stress because acupuncture releases endorphins. Number three is increased circulations. So if your kids, for women too, if you have cold hand, cold feet, or cold belly, acupuncture can help because increase the circulation. A lot of times in my clinic when we do acupuncture, you can see the reddish spread around the needle because the body reacts right away, the circulation increase. With circulation, your body can heal anything. I always tell people not a needle does the healing. It's your own body does the healing. But the needle initiates. Does that make sense? It's like a switch, we turn on. The power is not come from the needle, the power come from your body. But we just let energy flow. The last one will be stop tightness, stiffness, spasm, or any kind of pain. That's the most common use in the United States for acupuncture. So that's how acupuncture works. This is in 1978. World Health Organization recommended acupuncture can help all this problem. And for kids, mostly is for respiratory, asthma, bronchitis, common cold, sinus. That's for kids, very common, right? Another thing is digestion, abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion. That'll be the main topic we're going to talk about for children's health. A quick question for everybody, or if you have kids, for your children too. Do you think you're healthy or if your kid are healthy? How you identify if you're healthy or not, or if your kid are healthy or not? Any idea? Eat well, sleep well, for sure. No fatigue, you have energy. How can you tell somebody's healthy or not? When you go see doctor, they check everything, you're fine, you're perfect. You're happy. Energetic. Very interesting thing is, most people go to a doctor saying, if I'm healthy or not. That's completely wrong because doctor never talk about health. You know what doctor talk about? Sickness, problem, disease. When you see a doctor, all exam is perfect. It means you're not sick. It's like a car, it's not broke. But does not mean the car is new or strong. Does that make sense? Nothing to do with the car. I always tell people when doctors say you're sick, basically they're saying you're bankrupt. Just like a credit score. You check the credit score, somebody can have 780, but they can have $500,000 debt with credit card. The day before they get bankrupt, they still have a high score, right? It's nothing to do with health. Unfortunately, most MD, almost 100% MD, when they study in school, their books, their textbook, never talk about health. Just talk about sickness, disease, how to treat it. So for health, that's what's going on. By statistic, 15% people are healthy. 15% people. Most times for teenage. Unfortunately, this generation, a lot of kids or teenagers are not healthy anymore. I don't know, it's from iPad, ice cream, sleep late, whatever, but not as it used to be. But for us, everybody here, if you're middle age, consider when you were a teenage, Do you think you are more energetic that time, more happy, more healthy? That's what we're talking about. And there are 15% are sick. Basically, they need to rely on medication to keep them alive. For example, high blood pressure. If you don't treat it, around 5 years, most people get stroke. With medication, they can control pretty well. But this group of people considered sick. In other words, the doctor say, you're sick. Something wrong. Something broke, just like a car. How about the people in between? Like what, 40? We'll go see MD. MD say, you're not sick. You're perfect. How many people want to do annual checkup? And the MD say, you're fine. But you know every year you're not the same, right? What happened? What's that? Natural curve. How many people have seen 80 years old man work in the farm, work as a farmer? Or have you seen anybody 80, 90 still exercise in the park? You didn't? How about 70? Have you seen somebody 40, 50 hospitalized? Natural curve does not mean you have to be sick. Sickness has nothing to do with age. Just like an old car can run smooth. Does that make sense? It depends on how you maintain your car. Health is the same thing. So the first point is this. Health is relatively. Health is something how you take care of yourself. Everybody from healthy some point in your life, hopefully you have, or you had, you are getting older, the natural curve, or getting sick. So I made a joke, because everybody marching to the hospital, but your speed is different. If you maintain your health pretty well, you follow the natural curve. Some point you will die, you're getting old. Does that make sense? But if you work, like today I have one guy come from Samsung, young guy, not 30 years, not 30 years old yet. We checked the pulse, miserable. He told me he goes to work every day, 8 o'clock. He comes back around 7 p.m. That's 11 hours a day, right? And his sister and his brother-in-law both told me he worked too hard. That's the reason why he's miserable. Does that make sense? If you work 8 hours, or Chinese call 富二代, your parents are super rich, you can play in Hawaii Beach every day the rest of your life. This natural curve definitely will be slowed down a lot. Does that make sense? We'll tell you about how you can take care of your health next. But basically, your health is in control in your hand. So I tell people, all the problems, who created? You created. Something is genetic. You were born like this. But how fast you run to the hospital depends on you. Every year in Bay Area, there's some people come talk to me, say, I have a friend, drop dead, 40-something. Recently, there's one guy, 41 years old, Caucasian, married a Chinese lady, 2 years old, little kid. In the morning, went to swimming, come back, sit in the bathroom, gone, drop dead. 41 years old, pretty strong. Worked very hard, pretty success life. But he didn't take care of his health. That's the point. In Chinese medicine, at least have 4 stages for health. Keep this in mind. Number 1 is called healthy. Number 2 called weak. Some point, if you're middle age, you remember there's one day you got up, it's like, oh, I didn't sleep well last night. You can feel your body doesn't perform the same as you used to be, right? I remember when I was 20-something, went outside to go play, vacation, travel. 3 days and 3 nights, I didn't sleep. We came back, took one nap, went to the final test. We're still fine. That's called healthy. Some point you feel, yesterday I didn't sleep well. Today I'm tired. It's weak. You don't have any symptoms, but you know your body cannot recharge so fast as it used to be. Does that make sense? All the time in my clinic when I talk to somebody, one time there's one African-American lady. She's like, oh, I remember that time. That's called healthy. When you have no symptoms, when you're 30, 40, it's called weak. Unfortunately, for a lot of people when they're 30, 40, it's called unhealthy. What that mean? It means you have symptoms, but when you go see an MD, you do check up, nothing wrong with you. Functional-wise, your body is not functioning well. But structure-wise, when you go do a test, nothing wrong with you. Does that make sense? If this is a car, this is a brand new car, the first 2 years, very powerful. Wow, I'm happy with my new car. This is a car after 3-5 years. You keep on changing oil, the car getting slow, getting not so powerful, but still good car. This one's a yellow light on. You do a turn up, but you don't need to change any parts of your body, your car. Make sense? Sooner or later, get to a point called sick. This one's supposed to be sick. Basically, the MD say you need medication, you need a surgery, you need an injection, you need a cortisone, whatever. That part is mean your body cannot maintain the function by itself. It's crashing. You need a support. This is really called sick. So anything before this, when you see MD, they have no idea. The typical case is pre-diabetes. The MD won't give you medication because you are pre-diabetes. You're somewhere here. That makes sense? They have to wait until you're sick to treat you. For me, it's pretty silly. You have to wait until you're sick, and then we'll treat you. We have to wait until you're broke. Doesn't make sense. When Chinese medicine talk about when you're unhealthy, can we bring your circulation back and bring you to healthy again? Any part of your body, if the circulation of that part goes down more than 40% or less, your nerve control or your circulation less than 40% here, you lose the function. Somewhere around 40% to 60%, you have symptoms, but you still can function. Like I have pain, like lower back pain. Basically, it means your lower back, the circulation is around 40 to 60%. If you have more than 60%, you're weak. When you have more than 80%, you're healthy. That make sense? Okay, so if you understand that the health has healthy, weak, unhealthy, and sick, different stages, we definitely should understand that health is keep on going. If you take care of yourself, for example, you have a vacation for 2 weeks, a lot of people, the neck pain will be gone. Your health is getting better, right? But if you have a project, 3 months to go, every day 16 hours, if you don't have neck pain, you will develop a neck pain. That makes sense? Your health is going down. That's the point. And in your life, if you want to keep your health, there's 4 things. For kids, it's the same thing. Number 1, sleep. Why sleep is good for your health? Recharge, right? It's like a battery. If you don't recharge the battery, pretty soon you run out. For anybody, doesn't matter adult or kids here, if your sleep is in trouble, your health is in trouble. And this one will create issues for heart. Later on, we'll talk about a little bit. In summertime is the best time to take care of your heart or take care of your sleep. Second one is diet. How many of you have children and you let them drink ice water or cold water, whatever, or cold milk? That's one of the biggest mistakes in their diet. The cold will cause trouble. We'll show you more. Exercise. If you don't exercise your body, your circulation is poor, especially for adults. Most people don't know exercise has 3 kinds at least. Number 1, sports. Doesn't matter, swimming, jogging, running, ping pong, basketball. It builds up your muscle tone, but at the same time, build up tension. If you don't stretch enough, warm up your body, when you do more sports, you get more injury. Second one, stretching, like yoga. Release your tension. So sports and stretching is opposite. If you do them together, you'll be strong and flexible. That would be ideally. But that's only for muscular system. Yeah, in other words, outside of your body, what's going on. How you can exercise internal? Chinese medicine called Tai Chi. Anybody see the Tai Chi, the slow motion, that kind? Like old man type? Only when you relax and slow, you can strengthen internal circulation. And in our spine care class, we teach called 走桩, moving trunk meditation, very slow format. Anybody over 40 years old should do that. And the kids want to be strong internally should do that. Not sports. Sports is good for you, but not the best. Last one be stress. For anybody stressed, I tell them, if this is you, healthy, this is called stress. This one, the health will be much worse than this one. Why? If you're stressed out, why? Your health will be done. Any idea? When you're stressed out, you hold tension, right? Your circulation will slow down. Without circulation, your health doomed. That's the reason. That's the reason why stress is number one reason cause you get aging faster. Now for sleep, there's one thing. You need to get enough and a good sleep. You need to go to bed at least 10:30, the latest. For kids, if you want to grow taller, when it's dark, go to bed. No excuse. You can get up early, but you have to go sleep early because your body grows naturally. Diet need to be healthy diet. We talk about this one a lot today. And exercise has to be cracked. We said there's 3 formats for exercise. The next one is reduce stress. For most kids, if it's under 12, what do we do? The number one thing is called pediatrician massage. Basically rub the back, rub the hand, rub the feet. The good part for pediatrician massage, number one, is natural stimulation. All natural, nothing put in the body. Number 2 is no side effect. No drugs, no medication, no cortisone. For example, when kids have asthma, how many parents know your kids have asthma or allergy? You know the inhaler they use is cortisone, right? That's the worst, most the strongest medication you can use for a kid. It's pretty poison. But what happened is, when you use this one, the more, the worse. And it's not a cure. It's a symptom release. But for massage, it might be slower than cortisone inhaler. But in long term, you can rebuild their health. And what do we do with the massage is it helps the kids grow. A lot of things is that grow out of it. Does that make sense? It's not a treatment. It's to help them grow. When they grow out of it, it's done. For the kids, like 3, 5 years old, 10 years old, their lungs still developing, right? The new part with the stimulation will grow pretty healthy. And it can cover whatever function they need. That's the best part. For kids, consider the treatment to adult. For adult, they don't. So question for all the parents. What is the special part of a children's health? Anything you see their body, in their body, different. Any idea? What's the special part? No idea. Kids and adults, the difference is they're growing. It's like a tree. For adult, that's a tree, that's a tree. You don't grow anymore. You just can cut the branches, whatever, to make it a shape change. For kids, you change a little bit, they grow differently. Make sense? A lot of parents probably notice before you send your kid to kindergarten, their health is good, right? Once you send to kindergarten, they start catching cold, then start have allergy, then start have asthma. You see, now it used to be like this way. Why send it to kindergarten? The kids is out of the track, their health. Does that make sense? Help them grow. You just need to stimulate, rebuild their body's function. Make them grow the way they're supposed to be. It's the real cure. So all the time I tell parents, we didn't cure the kids. The growing we help cure the problem. That's ideally what is supposed to happen. The best parents can help your kid, or the best you can give your kids in life. What is it? The health is not only for physical body, mentally too. For me personally, I'm a dad. I hope my son, number 1, be healthy. Number 2, have better EQ. Number 3 is better IQ. Does that make sense to you? And if you want to talk about health for mental or discipline, there's one website I recommend called Positive Discipline. There's a website. They also have seminars. They have in Bay Area, they have 2 days workshop. If you want to teach your kids to be responsible and positive, it's called Positive Discipline. A lot of parents, also in the school, even in my son's school, I saw the teacher try to control. That's what I tried to say in the very beginning. You try to control your son grow the way you want to be. It won't work. Make sense? If you discipline them positively, you help. Acupuncture is the same thing. We give them positive stimulation. We try to discipline the body the way it's supposed to be. The body will grow the way it's supposed to be. Not we want it, but they will expand whatever the way it's supposed to be. We'll talk about effects of affect children's health. If you look at all these things, you will see. If your child has this issue, then you know why they have the problem or health issue they have. Number one, sleep. Need to go to bed early. A lot of parents ask me, how can my son or my daughter grow taller? 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Number one question I ask them, do they have enough sleep? We know the infant, the babies grow faster, right? But how much sleep they have? Sometimes 20 hours, right? All the time, just sleep. When they wake up, they eat. Then they go sleep or they poo. That's it. That's the only thing they do. That's how fast it grows, seriously. And for the kids, some kids, when I talk to them, their parents go sleep 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. The kids does the same thing. But the kids has to get up, go to school early, 8 o'clock, whatever. How many hours sleep do they have? You even don't give them the time to recharge the battery for their body. How can they grow? Does that make sense? The body grows in the nighttime, not in the daytime. In daytime, you spend energy. Doesn't matter for adult or for kids. You don't sleep, you don't have good health. Put it this way, not enough sleep is the fastest way to make your health go downhill. Doesn't matter for kids or adult. If you don't have a health, do not talk about grow. Growing is the extra thing your body needs to do effort, right? Sleep is number one. A lot of parents ask me, how early my son should go sleep? According to a doctor called Chen Yuqin, if you're Chinese, you know, there's one called Qiao Danjing. She created that kind of method. She believes around 8:30 to 1:30, 8:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. is the time your body creates blood. I don't know where she comes from that point, but that's how she treats patients. Any kids, any adult, any problem, she says, go to sleep 8:30. You can get up 3 o'clock in the morning, but you have to go sleep 8:30. And I always tell parents, if you want a child to grow faster, healthy, put them in bed as soon as possible. For adult, the latest one is 10:30. You know why? Because your growth hormone here release 80%. If you are in deep sleep during 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., that 2-hour zone, 80% will release growth hormone. Most people take half hour to get into deep sleep. It's not a sleep, I'm out. Take half hour. 11 to 1 p.m., 1 a.m., if your body can release 80% growth hormone, you have to be in bed at 10:30. For kids, they need more growing, right? So how many hours you need to add it to 10:30? Up to you. The more healthy you want, the earlier you should go to bed. When it's getting dark, go sleep. You can get up 5 o'clock. When it starts bright, get up. No problem. And growth hormone is the controller for all the hormone in your body. Thyroid, pancreas, sex hormone, adrenal. Everything follow growth hormone. So for women, if you don't sleep well, next morning your face looks different because your body is more sensitive to hormone. Does that make sense? Take a look at woman. Why? You didn't sleep well? The body will tell you. Second thing, eat. For any kids, no cold food, no cold drinks. The cold include cold from refrigerator, ice cold, or cold type food. For example, Chinese medicine believe coconut milk is very cold. Anybody heard that? Liu lian is very hot. Doesn't matter you cook it or you boil it, still cold food. Salad is cold food. Make sense? Exercise. For kids, the more exercise, as long as they can do it, it's good for their health, generally speaking. One thing is, in the Bay Area, avoid windy. When they exercise, when they get hot, sweaty, give them a hood, close with a hood, cover them up. Like my son, 5, 6 years old at that time, go outside play, no jacket. Wow, I'm hot. But you know, Bay Area, the wind is pretty cold, right? Especially around the evening time. That's how you catch the problem. And then no wet clothes. After exercise is wet, right? Don't wear that clothes, go home. You create trouble. The last one is stress and posture. For kids, the most common one is from iPad, a video game like this. The youngest I saw the kids was 7 years old, typical neck problem. 7 years old. He came to my clinic, that time was in Delhi City, in the waiting area, 40 minutes nonstop, like that. So after 40 minutes, I saw the kids, I asked Mom, I said, your son has a neck problem? She was so surprised. She said, how can you know? I said, I don't need to know, you see? 40 minutes. Even a dog would create a neck problem, right? You can see the habit there. So for cold, that's what we talk about. Barefoot. How many kids of your kids wear shoes at home? How many don't wear shoes? Doesn't matter if they like or not, they have to wear shoes. You know why? Chinese medicine say you need to 隔寒隔潮. You need to prevent coldness and dampness from the floor come to your body. So you have been to Guangzhou. Guangzhou is the south part of China, very hot. Even in summertime, they wear slippers. Make sense? In Chinese medicine, the foot, the bottom part, has the one called kidney 1, is the acupuncture point. It's almost the biggest acupuncture point in your body. You touch the floor, socks doesn't work. Socks cannot completely stop the cold. You can touch the feet, it's cold. Doesn't matter, summertime or wintertime. So some people say, I will have carbon. Or my son wears socks. No. What you do, especially in autumn or wintertime, touch their feet. Is that cold or not? If it's cold, by one thing, you have to create coldness internal in your children's body, period. Regardless of how you believe. If it's not cold, it will get cold sometime. That's something you should do. When it's cold, you know the problem is there. Does that make sense? So I tell parents, doesn't matter what's going on. Put shoes on. You can buy some light slippers, whatever, at home. Make them comfortable. Second one, ice water. That's the worst thing in the United States you can give to people for health, especially for a kid. If you touch your kid, their belly is cold, never give them ice water. It's warm, pretty soon you keep on giving them cold drinks, they will have cold belly at some point. The last one, another one, ice cream. Same thing. What happens when you drink cold water, ice cream, make you feel better in the summer, right? But if you put a cup of cold water, pour on the head, the people won't feel so good. As chilly sensation as you drink a cup of water. What happens? The ice water comes to your stomach, stimulate your stomach, and the veins will start shrink naturally. Your autonomic nerve system, your brain, your nerve system, start sense that coldness. All the artery and veins start shrinking in your body. Then you feel chilly, you feel good. It's a stimulation does the job. Not how much heat it took away from your body does the job. Does it make sense? In the summertime, if you grab a small piece of ice in your hand, wow, feel good. Same thing, stimulate your body, make your whole body shrink. The better way to do is hot water or hot shower in summertime. Why? Yes. The hot water or hot shower make your body sweat. That brings more heat away. Does that make sense? So summertime, if you want to get it cool, you should not take a cold shower. You should take a hot shower. Make sense? Same thing for the body. Another thing is for kids. If you have a kids like 4 or 5 years old or 7 years old like me, you will know the kids sleep, how they sleep, right? They kick the blanket, they move around, they hit you, whatever they do. Most time in the night, they don't have a blanket on them. You touch them, they have a cold belly. That become one big part reason. In the Bay Area, I recommend parents get an oil heater at home. You know, heater have many kinds, right? Some use the fans, pretty noisy. Some use the light, radiation. but it's not good for sleep. The best one is oil type. Very quiet. You set up the temperature around 68. Give them light blanket. What happens, I found out when I was cold in the wintertime, I liked a thick, big blanket. I grew up in Xinjiang, northwest in China. It's next to Russian. So the wintertime is like 20 centigrade degree under zero. It's very cold, so I like the thick blanket. I feel like so secure, warm. Then I found out one thing, that's too heavy for my son. Does that make sense? Their body size is much smaller. So you gave them the heavy blanket to keep them warm, but for them it's a burden, so they keep on kicking it. And also for kids, there's one thing, when they fall asleep, how many parents find out they're easy to get sweat? That makes sense? When they go sleep, they get sweat. They're so hot, they kick the blanket. When they fall asleep, there's no blanket, but they're cold. So they're like this. That's how they sleep. Why? Because their body's nervous system is not developed well. Well, a dog, after you're 18 years old, when you're laying down, your heart rate goes down, your body temperature goes down. That makes sense? You put a blanket on, before you fall asleep, your body starts adjust. For kids, it adjusts too slow. Their body temperature is still high, their heart rate is still high, but you put a thick blanket on it, they cannot take it. When they kick the blanket off, their body temperature starts going down, their heart rate starts going down, they fall asleep. There's no blanket at all. That makes sense? So 2 recommendations for winter. Number 1, get an oil heater, set up around 68, give them light blanket. Number 2, send your kids to sleep, check them 10 or 20 minutes later. That time, if their body is complete sweat with the blanket, change to a small blanket. That time, if they have no blanket, put blanket on them, watch them again. Then their body will settle, they'll get comfortable. Does that make sense? That neat little thing to figure out how to take care of your son or daughters. Whatever code you develop will show in the navel. I do acupuncture on the navel. Like for kids, we use very tiny, small needle. There's something can show you. We can check for you, can check for your kids yourself. Number 1, the navel will stick out. The navel is supposed to be like this, right? Like a hole deep inside. A lot of kids, their navel is like this. In the middle, stick out. You know their health not good. Second one, their navel is flat. Some kids' navel just like completely like flat, like this. There's no hole going inside. We believe the energy is pretty low. 中气虚. Their energy is low. The last one is whitish. You see a white dot in the middle. We'll show some picture. And some kids have a bluish vein here. Any kids, especially for a little kid, under 5 years or 6 years old, you see a blue veins here, you know they have a cold stomach. You don't need to talk to them. Look at them. The kids does not digest well, right? Or the kids does not like to eat, right? Or they go bathroom and have trouble, right? How can you know? It's here. It's a sign. This one has been recorded, the blue veins, in the Asian Chinese medicine book for over 1,000 years. It's not I say it. Look at this one. I don't know if you can see clear. Here has a little bluish vein. We have another one, this one. Can you see this? Can we turn off the light and see if it's more clear? Is that possible? Just want to show this picture. Somewhere around here. Can you see something here? Bluish? Yeah. That's the thing. Pretty clear, right? And especially around like a dot around here. Okay, that's good. So any kids, doesn't matter in your son or daughter's class or your relatives or in the park, you look at that, ask them, do the kids have digestion issue? Somehow they will show it, some sign. This one has a veins around here. Can you see that? That's the Asian method to tell the kids' health as well. Chinese is called 风关、气关、命关. Like this line, it's called wind. When they catch a cold, sometimes the bluish, pretty clear. When this one has one, like this kid, definitely they have a chronic health issue. This one, hardly you see it. If this one has it, most times a high fever. The kids like get 脑炎, brain infection. You will see a bluish here. It's been life and death. That's what they call 命文. Most kids, if you see both lines like here, you know it's in trouble. All the signs, if we tell you, if we treat it, the sign will change when the kid's health is getting better. Especially belly. 好. Can you see something around here, bluish? That's the sign. So go back, see your kids, left hand and right hand. Can you see the bluish somewhere around here? And here. There's a small veins. Just like this pen, kind of line, little-ish. 还能再关个灯吗？ Can you see now clear? Does that make sense? 好，谢谢。Okay, now let's look at the navel. We talk about internal cold or coldness. See the whitish? Compare the skin here and here. And can you see the belly is a little flat, the upper part? Any kids, if their belly here has a line, right, like a wall, we call navel wall. It's a wall around the navel. The bottom has it, right? The top part does not have it. This part indicates the kid's either the heart is weak, or Chinese medicine called yang energy is deficient. For adult, 99% does not go sleep early or sleep enough. We develop this one. Anybody has this sign, summertime should treat it. See this one stick out, whitish? You see that pretty clear, white, right? Okay. This one's flat. See that little white issue here? And for the right side, most times it's for lung. Asthma, frequently catch cold, bronchitis, sinus. For this side is liver. This side is for heart. See this one, little whitish, no top, almost flat here, right? See this one, whitish. You can see different type, right? Doesn't matter how's their navel. As long as they have white, we believe there's cold inside. And I ask them, 90% they don't wear shoes at home. Ice water, ice drink, ice cream. Very common. Sometimes, not for the kid. I have several kids. I talk to them. Everything I ask, no ice drink, wear shoes at home, no ice cream ever, no salad even. I ask the mom, do you have, or did you have painful menstruation and a cold belly before the child was born? Surprisingly, every single mom said yes. Why? Because the kid was born in that way. Because the parents has a cold stomach. The mom has a cold stomach. Or cold uterus. So the kids grow in the uterus in a cold environment, develop that. Very typical. See this one? Little whitish. All these kids are from our patient. See that? Pretty obviously, right? Now you start getting a sense what we're talking about. This one stick out and white and flat, right? Energy is low, digestion is bad, and cold. See this one? And this kids probably have some eye problem too. This one for eye or neck. That's naval acupuncture did for a kid. This